Hello everyone, welcome to Oliveboard. And this is a very interesting session that I'm going to here we are going to discuss. You see, like from the thumbnail and from the text or the title, you have got an idea. Okay, I will be talking about something for absolute beginners. This session is intended for them, right? So if you are someone who is just starting or thinking about starting out with your CGL preparation. Now again, this is, I'm talking about SSC CGL, but that does not only mean SSC CGL. So that covers all the exams under SSC umbrella or NTPC, or like you can say the RRB umbrella as well. So the kind of the preparation strategy or something, like if you are beginning, you should begin in the similar fashion, right? So CGL is the target exam. CGL is, you can say, that is our point of focus. Now, having said that, please understand this quantitative aptitude. This has by far the biggest syllabus, right? So it is very, very, very important that you start from the right point, because if you don't know which point or where to start from properly, that is what creates the problem of like a kind of a 1 month or 2 months down the line. That is the problem, that if you talk to 100 students, 90 students will say the same thing. Ki, sir, like after a couple of months, we realized we should have done this chapter before this. But again, when we started, we didn't understand. So this order or this way or the what you need to do in the beginning before you even start with your preparation, this what you should do, that is what we are going to discuss today, right? I hope this in this particular video, this is the target. Now, before we go into those stuff, please understand what is there in your syllabus and what is not. That's very important. You see, if you break down your syllabus in some proper format, in your arithmetic section there are three parts, mota mota. So that is, first is percentage. Again, sir, ratio is the second part, sir. And also, there is another part, number system. Now, I like to keep number system as part of arithmetic. Now, some books or some other faculty also, this number system can also be treated as a part of advanced maths as well. But again, I'm one of them who likes to treat number system as a part of arithmetic itself. It's very simple, it's very easy. Now, having said that, now these two are your mother chapters of arithmetic, percentage and ratio. Based on these two chapters, you will find a few more chapters. Now, simple interest, compound interest, very important. Time and work, time, speed, distance, boat and stream. Now, time and time, speed, distance, you also include the train related questions as well. Crossing, meeting, relative speed concept, everything will come. Average is another concept that you need to learn, especially the deviation concept, how to solve questions quicker without really going into that. Now, with average, the hand in hand is mixture allocation. Simplification is also very, very, very important. You can expect at least one or two questions of simplification, age related questions, and definitely the basic part of data interpretation. At least one question you can expect from this. I'm talking about tier 1. Now, this is what comprises of your arithmetic syllabus. Now, apart from that, if you go into the algebra or the advanced maths part, so there you will find algebra first. Now, equations, Mr. You have to do two types. So, linear equations and also a knowledge of quadratic equations. Right? Now, then comes geometry, one of the biggest parts and very important. Now, mensuration, again, a very big part. Trigonometry, including height and distance. Geometry along with coordinate geometry, again, becomes very important, especially after this year. Statistics also becomes very important for next year. And PNC probability. Probability I have included over here. So you can see these are the topics. Now again, these things most of you already know. I've just given you a gist. Now again, just to give you an idea, this is how you should, like this is what you need to prepare. This is how big the syllabus is. So this is only advanced maths. You see these every topic. So geometry alone will take 15 classes minimum. In the foundation, I'm only talking about, apart from the practice sessions. So mensuration also at least 10 classes minimum. These. So again, these are not this. This is only the topic itself. So in geometry, lines and angles is there, triangles are there. In triangles also there are like similarity, congruency, there are so many things, right? Then comes the quadrilaterals, then comes circles, then come polygons. There are so many things that is there in geometry. So if you break down every chapter, you will find everything. Now, so there are so many things, and you are just about to start your preparation. You are just about to dive into that pool of information. But again, before you even take that dive, it's very, very, very important to measure the depth of the pool. That is what I always say. So I will always suggest, before you begin, please take a day. If you are someone who is working, then you can take a weekend. And if you are someone who is, most probably you will fall in this category, if you are someone who is preparing full time. So in that case, like you have the whole day to yourself, take 1 hour out of your like the daily routine, take a mock test. Take a mock test. I generally call it the mock zero. I generally call it the mock zero, sir. Now again, GK/GS portion, or especially the current affairs vagera, that portion you won't be able to do. But again, at least I'm talking about mathematics, my subject. At least you take the sectional mock for this. You at least take a sectional mock and see how much you are scoring in that much time. Just take a sectional mock in those many minutes, how much you are scoring out of, let's say, like out of 25 questions. How many questions can you do within the time limit? That is what you need to do. Now, this number can be 20, this number can be 15, this number can be 10, this number can be 5, this number can be 0 as well. It doesn't matter. It does not matter, everyone. Please understand. How much you are scoring here, that doesn't matter. Like that does not matter. What matters what matters is you get an idea कि अच्छा, in terms of competition, I am currently standing over here. Say you have scored, someone has scored, there is a student X who has scored 15. Meaning, like you can, that student, say, let's say I am that student X. So I am now, I'm now having this idea कि अच्छा, I am somewhere lying in the middle of the pack. I'm not a front runner, nor I'm absolutely at the back. I'm somewhere in the middle, right? So meaning I have to work that much harder to get to the like 25 mark if I want to solve all the questions. Now again, and everyone, again, many people will say many things. Always remember, this is the only target, sir. This is the only target. You have to solve all 25 questions. If you target 25, then only you can do 23, 24. If you itself target, sir, if I can do 20, then it's a very good exam. Then itself you will always fall short by 2 or 3 questions. Always your target should be 25 out of 25, right? Now, so this mock zero is very, very, very important to begin your preparation from, because that will give you the idea ki where are you standing currently before you even start learning new things, start applying new things. That is your base. How much, you see, everybody talks about basics. How clear is your base depends on that. Depending on that, you can clear it in 6 months, 3 months, 8 months, 10 months, 1 year, 2 years, right? So this is what will decide. Now again, let me say this. If you are someone who is scoring greater than 10, you are in a good place. You can clear it in 2026. You can clear it at least if you follow proper procedures, proper learning techniques, proper practice. So you can clear it within like in the upcoming exam. Or even if you are scoring like very close to 10, if you're less than 10, but again 8, 9, that also works, right? But again, you need to work that much harder. Now, again, this is something that is the overall scenario. Now, also one more thing. Now there is a category of students who will say, sir, my arithmetic question, like when I see arithmetic questions, I can solve them. I have that confidence. But advanced maths, especially this chapter, I'm not very comfortable. Especially when I see geometry questions, my confidence automatically comes down. Especially when I say, even in arithmetic, some other students might say, so time, speed, distance questions gives me a lot of trouble. Whenever I see a question from time, speed, distance, I kind of fear a bit. I have this fear from that, from some experience or something. Maybe if that chapter is not well prepared as the other chapters, but there might be several reasons. So for that, how to identify? So please understand how to get rid of that fear. So for that, I will always say this: do a proper SWOT analysis before you even begin your preparation for 2026. Okay, this is very important. Please understand. Like this. So first, if you have a problem and you have to, you deliberately want, ki, sir, I have the, you know this, you have a problem and you want to get rid of this. So first step towards that is to identify that problem and acknowledge that problem. Yes, sir, I have this problem. And the first step is to identify. So first, how to identify? Now, whenever you are getting a question from that chapter in a mock, then you are identifying. That's not proper identification. So what you do, you take a piece of paper, sir. You take a piece of paper like this. You take a piece of paper and draw 3 columns. Okay? Look straight, ठीक ठाक, हाँ ठीक. So there will be this. So this is your strength. And this is your weakness. And this is somewhere in between. I'm just writing so-so. So-so means ठीक ठाक. Okay? So let's say you have taken up a chapter. Let's say you have taken up a chapter. Let's say you have taken up this chapter, say percentage. And you are very confident about percentage. So that is your strength. Meaning, sir, if I ask you a question from percentage, you are confident you will be able to answer and answer within the time limit. But, sir, if I ask you the question from time, speed, and distance, you have to have so you have to, this is not your strength. You are not that comfortable dealing with time, speed, distance questions. Now, there might be a chapter, say there is a chapter profit loss, which is kind of a hit or a miss type chapter. Meaning sometimes if you have a common type, you can answer very quickly. But again, if there is a question or a type of question which is not very familiar, where you need to think a little bit, then you are not very comfortable. Meaning you have not learned this chapter, rather you have not understood the chapter, learned the chapter. Rather you have memorized that this type of questions should be done like this. You don't know the why behind that. Why this type of question should be done like this. That is called learning. Every shortcut. Now, why are we using shortcut? That particular, say, let's say the most famously used shortcut is AB theorem in whole arithmetic, sir. You will see this. Multiple chapters will use this. Now, please understand, if I say this question can be solved using AB theorem, then you will say, okay, sir, let's solve it. Like my job is over, your job is also over. You can solve, I have taught you guys, done. But again, please understand, my job is not over unless and until I explain why we are using AB theorem for that particular question. Because please understand, if in the exam you get a question which is not exactly that type, just a little bit here and there, you will get stuck because you don't know the why behind this. Why we have used AB theorem in that particular question. Understanding that why is very important. So this chapter is like not done. Why? Because you don't know the answer to that why. So this chapter also you need to learn from basics, from zeros, from scratch. Okay. So these few things, what I'm saying. So these things, if you do this from the first chapter till the last chapter, so you might end up getting 10 chapters as your strength, 10 chapters as your weakness, and 15 chapters in this so-so category. At the end, mostly I've seen so-so category will have the most number of chapters. Now, it might happen, so strength mein there will be a few chapters, very few chapters for many students in the strength category. Absolutely okay. Please understand, in the from foundations, I will not just say, ki, Acha, so percentage everybody knows, so let's skip percentage. I will start from percentage and I'll start from zero only. Right? But again, please understand these things, why I'm saying these things will give you a very clear picture of yourself to you. Please understand, doing this self-analysis is very important. Okay, sir, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? So doing learning about your own weaknesses is more important, sir. Because strength means I can solve this question. That's absolutely okay. Weakness, learning about this and clearing this weakness is very more important. Because if you don't clear your weakness, it will remain as weakness and it will always hamper your selection. Please remember, sir, you cannot, like the level of competition that we have nowadays, and it is increasing every year, you cannot clear the examination with even like if you decide ki I'll like only let alone one whole section. If you decide to leave even two chapters, let's say you have decided I'll not do time and work, I'll not do profit loss, that will create a hindrance to your selection. That is the level of you can say competition now. So again, if that is the demand, we have to quench that thirst. We have to supply to that demand, right? So again, your preparation strategy should be like this, ki if from first chapter to last chapter, every chapter you should do, like if you should give 100% focus, you should give equal importance. And you're like, from whether I'm asking you the question from a percentage or a difficult chapter or complicated chapter like compound interest, you should have at least conceptually, calculation wise, you should have the 100% clarity of thought, like be it percentage or be it that difficult chapter like compound interest. That is what you should achieve at the end of the foundation batch when you start practicing. And I've given you some numbers in the last session. Also, if you have not seen that session, if you've not gone through that, I have given you some self checks for those who are preparing who have decided to do self study. So please go through that. That will give you a good self check. What to look for after 3 months, after 4 months, what to look for. That will help you, I hope. Right? So this was my 2 bits on your preparation journey. Before you begin, you do these things. Now again, this is as I teach this subject, so I was talking about this one. You can do the same for the other subjects as well. You can take another piece of paper, do this the same for reasoning, for other subjects as well. The same thing can happen. Right? So again, it's up to you, because like having this clarity of thought is very important. It will only be helpful to you. Okay, so having said that, I will take your goodbyes. Then again, I'll see you guys in classes. Hope it helps you. Again, if you have any questions, any queries, feel free to use the comment section to ask me the questions. I'll be more than happy to reply. I generally reply back from my personal IDs. So thank you so much, everyone. Take care, and bye-bye from my end.